People use violence to solve the problem everywhere. They believe that when we use violence to solve the problem, you can solve the problem quick, fast, and complete. But actually, it never happened like that. Every time when we use violence, it's like we hiding the problem under the carpet. The problem never go away, it's still there. And it has time to develop itself to be bigger and bigger and more power. And one day it will explode. So violence never solves the problem, because whenever we use it, it will have more or bigger violence come back to fight back. It never happened. Violence never bring peace to anybody. But we still use violence everywhere. Why is that? It's because of violence is our feeling, our emotion, our feelings. We use feeling lead our life a lot, but we did not use consciousness enough to lead our life. Whenever we use feeling, it's about like or don't like. It's about ourself more. So what we like, other people maybe don't like it. Or maybe what we like, it will cause more problem for other people. That's why it creates conflict and never end. But whenever we use consciousness or mindfulness, it will have a reason, but reason will based on the truth, based on fairness, based on equality. If we stand on this thing, everybody accept it easily. That's why we have less problem, less conflict whenever we use consciousness. But in real life, we did not practice to use our mindfulness enough. But we always use emotion or feeling all the time. That's why we don't have enough experience to solve the problem in non-violence way. Most of the time, we try to make the way that we solve the problem more complicated, to lie to ourselves that we are good, we are better, we are non-violence now. But actually, we just deceive ourselves. Like many people who say that, oh, killing animal is bad. I don't kill any fish. I don't kill any animal. But they eat meat, eat animal every meal. But they blame people who kill animal, that person is bad, is cruel, it's not good. But actually, we are not different from that person because we eat it. But we make the system more complicated, that we feel like we did not kill animal. But actually, we are the person who tell people to kill animal for us. We just don't want to see the reality. We don't want to see the truth. This is the way we make things very complicated. So we can hiding somewhere behind the scene and deceive ourselves that we are a good person. So violence is increased everywhere. It develop its form in different way. Violence in the world now is come in the form of trading or business. It come in the form of aids or help. But you have something behind that. So it's very complicated to understand the form of violence. Sometimes it comes in the form of law or regulation to make people think that, oh, it's the law. We cannot use this mineral. We cannot cut the trees. It's the law. They not allow us to cut the trees. But actually, that is another kind of violence, that they use the law as a tool to rob the trees from normal people. So the people who have power, who have money, can cut it alone. So there are so many forms of violence in our life. Even money, we deposit money in the bank, but we feel like, oh, I'm good. I did not create any violence on this earth. But actually they use our money to invest in the weapon company, in the build factory, build many bad things all the time. So everybody cannot avoid it. We are living under the violence world. But they make it more complicated so we can feel everything is okay right now. That's what we feel. But actually there's nothing okay. So when we try to think, to understand this thing more and more, it helps us to see that we are one part of violence in the world now, everywhere. I think it's too big, too complicated to solve the whole structure. But what we can do, I think it may be good to start from ourselves. Start to come back, to be more, to practice to be more mindful with whatever we doing, whatever we eating, whatever we saying. Whenever we practice this, it will decrease violence inside us. Decrease, but we cannot get rid of it immediately. It's impossible because the system covers the whole thing in our life. We cannot cut it off immediately. But it's good to learn, to practice, to decrease it little by little, and then we can see the change. And when we have kids, how can we be a non-violent parent with our kids? We don't use physical violence with them. We don't use verbal violence with them. We don't use thinking violence with them. We don't make them feel bad. We don't force them to do something that we like to do. And the kids, they grew up in this atmosphere. They will develop the form of peaceful thinking. And then it will be their life in the future. I think we cannot make peace for the world. It's impossible. But we can make peace for ourselves first. And then if we can do it, the aura will radiate out. So people nearby us can see that, oh, this way of life is nice, calm and peaceful. I want to be like this. So people will change after that. I didn't see any other way that we can decrease violence in the world right now. It's everywhere. So only one way is just come back to decrease from ourselves first. Decrease little by little. Whatever we can do is the way to practice. I think it will create more new atmosphere, create new feeling, new experience for us to see that we can have many choices in our life. We can live in a way that more relaxed, more peaceful. We will enjoy it more. So things will start to change, gradually change. I think we need more thinking, more idea like this to develop more in the world right now. Because everywhere, when we look around, we can see all violence everywhere, but in different forms. To understand it is the most important thing, and we can know what we can do.